Hey everybody, it's Jamie from No Getting Off This Train, and in today's video I had some help from Allison to find a meal from a different country, and today I am making ratatouille. I have been taking suggestions from all of you in the past couple weeks saying, hey, what would you like me to make in the month of May? And somebody suggested that I make some sort of like an ethnic meal. Pick a country with Allison or something and find one of their most popular recipes and then go ahead and make it. I thought that was a really good idea. And I was hoping, to get Allison to look with me, to find a recipe and make it together. So I asked her, hey, what country would you like to see? And without missing a beat, she said specifically Paris, France. I said, all right. So I started looking around and I really couldn't find anything specific to Paris besides here are some different restaurants that you should try when you go to Paris, France. So I just looked up just typical France cuisine, and besides the standard crepes and pastries and stuff, I found Ratatouille. And we had actually just watched the movie Ratatouille recently, and Allison said, yeah, that sounds awesome. And to be honest with you, I really hadn't heard of Ratatouille before. I knew it existed, but I never looked it up to see what exactly it was. So Ratatouille is a vegetarian dish, basically a stew of vegetables that you can serve alongside rice or bread, and it looked super delicious, and I said, all right, I'm gonna make it. I was hoping that Allison would make it with me, considering she picked the country, but no, she didn't want to make it with me, so I'm sorry to disappoint. I'm gonna make it by myself today. But as I cook, I will try and share a few facts here and there about the history of Ratatouille, which I think is pretty interesting. So with all that being said, let's get to it. Here are all the ingredients I'm going to be using for this ratatouille. It's going to be super colorful with all of the vegetables. It's going to be super flavorful with all of the seasonings added to it. So the first thing we got to do is chop everything up. So did you know that ratatouille was an 18th century dish, and it was created, or is actually known as more of a peasant stew, because the farmers would try to use up all of their summer crops in as many dishes as they could, and this was one of them. And it all makes sense when you think about all the stuff that goes in it. So there's bell peppers, there's onions, garlic, zucchini, and then tomatoes, and also eggplant. So pretty much all summer crops. You can use this as either a main dish served with rice or bread, or you can serve it as a side dish with a meat or a potato or fish. So all I'm doing right now is just chopping up everything, which is taking up the most time. Now, I did say before that eggplant is also used in this recipe, but I am not a huge fan of eggplant. So instead of that, I just used up 2 zucchini instead. I started off by cooking the onions in a little bit of olive oil and then chopped up the zucchini and the bell peppers. I then added some garlic and then added the vegetables and let them saute for a few minutes. It would have taken a little bit longer if I had had eggplant because the eggplant cooks longer, but I only cooked 5 minutes or so here. Then I added all of the seasonings, which you can find below in the recipe in the description, and let that cook for another few minutes as well while I chopped up the tomatoes. One of the things I love about the recipe, and like I said earlier, it's just so colorful. It is full of vegetables, and this particular recipe served 3, so you're going to get a lot of servings of vegetables in your dinner. I think the recommended serving of veggies per day is 4 or 5 or something, so this will definitely help get you there. After this, it's just a matter of letting it cook down a little bit. You want them to be soft but not mushy. And then right toward the end, I added 1 tablespoon of tomato paste and then a tablespoon or so of balsamic vinegar. And then after a few minutes of stirring, letting it cook, it was completely done. So like I said, you could serve it as a main dish like we did tonight. And I said you could serve it with either rice or bread, but we're kind of serving it with both. I have brown rice in the rice cooker, and then I also made some jalapeno cheese bread in my bread machine, and I'll have that recipe linked below as well. But this recipe served 3. So I got about a half cup or so of rice, and then I believe it was almost 2 cups of the vegetable mixture. So this really made for an excellent dinner, especially paired with the rice and the bread. It kept me full for quite a long time. And Allison, I did try to give her some of it. I always put at least a little bit on her plate, and she refused to touch it. You know, it happens. Sorry to disappoint that Allison wouldn't even try the food, but you know, it's a 7-year-old for you. But at least I got her to pick something, and maybe next time I'll try to find something that maybe is more palatable to her. Maybe I will make crepes next time, or some sort of a baked good, something that I think she will enjoy. But good news is we have leftovers for later. So I hope this was kind of fun to watch. I really enjoyed making a new recipe. And I think maybe I'll turn this into a monthly thing where Allison and I will pick something to make from another country, and hopefully next time she'll make it with me. But in the meantime, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and ring that bell down there, and that way you'll be notified when that video comes out, as well as my other grocery hauls, recipes, and meal planning tips. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you later.